Awakening is life. You are watching Boundless Way serial. In the previous video of this Boundless Way series, we have seen that the Boundless Way is nothing but the dancing cosmos. And the timeless living is nothing but synchronizing ourselves with the rhythm of this dancing cosmos. Now, in this video, we'll see that the roots of the boundless way spreads even into the invisible world, beyond death and decay. To understand and to know this invisible, boundless way, we have to enter into the very death itself. How is it possible? Fortunately, there is a way out. To study the sun, for example, you need not go and land into the sun, which is impossible. Even before going near the sun, will be burnt alive. So, our Indian scientists devised a technique. They sent a rocket called Aditya to a point L1, Lagrange 1, from where you can study all the activities of the sun very clearly. So also, we can study about that death without dying. How is it? There is a tool called NDE, near-death experience. And MD Dr. Raymond Moody introduced this NDE term. He defines it as entering into a very different realm, entering into a very different dimension altogether. It is crossing the boundaries of time and space. Says we'll get the near-death experience during the traumatic experience. Brain death, cardiac arrest, overdose of anesthesia, terrible accidents, catastrophes, suffering from long-term incurable diseases, terminal illness, suicidal attempts, and the list goes on. Now, let us see some of the important but few near-death experiences.
To get this series of videos, click the subscribe button and the like button below this video.
In the first case, the near-death experiencer saw a woman at the rear corner of his room where he was hospitalized. Although he did not know her, he felt that she knew him very well. He murmured, describing her. He had some conversation with her. And that also he murmured. After some time, he felt that he can believe her completely. All his murmurings was luckily recorded by the hospital. When he started believing her completely, he left his inert body and went to her. That was the death of the person. But strangely, after some time, he became alive again. And he narrated the whole incidents. And all that he said about her and the conversation he had with her simply coincided with the recording exactly. And everybody was simply amazed at it. In the second case, and Dr. Evan Alexander, a neurosurgeon, he went into a deep coma due to a viral disease. Deep coma means clinically he is dead. He will not hear anything, all his senses will not work, and he will not have feelings and so on. But when he became alright after some time, he narrated a near-death experience. He said he visited the heavenly realm. He encountered a spiritual being which he assumed and believed that it must be the God. Also, he received the spiritual message of universal love. He sensed a deeply interconnection with all the living and non-living beings of the whole universe. And his account was really surprising. In the third case, Palm Renaud, a woman supposed to undergo a very complicated brain surgery. So she underwent induced cardiac arrest to reduce the body temperature. That means medically she's dead. She can't feel anything. She will not have any awareness. But after the successful surgery, when she came back to the normal life, she said she had an out-of-body experience. She went out of her own body and she was floating there in the air. And she was able to watch her own body and all the events that were happening during the surgery. She was even able to hear all the conversations and the discussion the doctors had. When she narrated the whole thing, all the people in that theater simply amazed.
This is Boundless Way for Timeless Living Channel.
The fourth case is Colton Barbeau, a 4-year-old little boy had to undergo emergency surgery for his ruptured appendix. You know, when the appendix is ruptured, people will die as soon as possible. So he has to undergo the surgery immediately. But the boy is a 4-year-old boy. So they administered overdose of anesthesia. So he was clinically dead. No feeling, no sensation, nothing. He's like a dead body. When the doctors successfully operated him, the ruptured appendix, he became alive again. And he reported that he had some near-death experience. He said he visited the heaven. He met some of his deceased family members and talked to them. And he said a long list of the deceased members of the family, and that was correct. He said he received many insights into his family future, and he narrated some of them. And he said a whole list of future events that are going to happen in his family. Later, all of them became true in exactly the same order. And the fifth case is a 77-year-old pensioner. And he narrates his near-death experience like this. After the anesthesia, I heard a sound buzzing, and I was rushing through a dark tunnel, at the end of which there was a very bright light. When I reached the end, I looked out. I felt that I am in heaven. But that heaven is an unexpected heaven. I never heard about that in any of the stories or believed. It's a completely different heaven. No garden of roses, no mountains, no rivers, no valleys. It was a virgin land, so flat, vast, and endless. It's a mammoth, and the whole thing was filled with tranquility, and beautiful. And I was trying to step out, but there was no earth to stand or walk. I was floating like a balloon. Then I saw a great crowd of people, but they didn't have the human body. They were all like spiritual beings, but they were wearing long robe in yellow, green, blue and purple, but not in black or white or red. The whole place was filled with the fragrance, sweet fragrance. I was highly relaxed and blissful within myself. I wanted to stay on there, but I was sucked back into that dark tunnel, and I was rushed back. Then I felt that I'm entering into my body. I sensed that somebody was smacking my cheek. And I opened my eyes, I saw only doctors around me. Later, he reported that from that moment onwards, he never had any fear of death. That is the power of near-death experience. In the next video, we shall see how to understand all these experiences. Thank you for watching. Please like it and subscribe it. Share it with your friends and groups. Register your valuable comments in YouTube.